What's good, YouTube, man? I need y'all to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, man.
Right now is the comedy festival in Saudi Arabia, the Riyadh, the Riyadh Comedy Festival, which my man Ari Spears is performing at. I believe he already did it, but it's a hell of a lineup. Aziz Ansari, Pete Davidson, Kevin Hart, Bill Burr, Russell Peters, who we both know, Louis C.K., Chris Tucker.
That's an all-star lineup.
A lot of names, and Dave Chappelle.
Sure.
Dave Chappelle. There was a rumor that Bill Cosby was performing, but it's not true. It's not true.
That's an all-star lineup.
I'm honestly happy that these guys are getting, from what I understand, a huge check. Let me just say this: I called him Aries. Me and Aries do business. When I said, "How much you getting for the show?" He said, "A lot." I said, "How much?"
That he's something else.
He wouldn't tell me.
Right.
It was that much.
Yeah.
I heard they were paying like 10 times as much as what they would get in the States.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I can say this. Why do we focus on comedian when Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy right there. I ain't know that.
A reporter from the Washington Post was slaughtered by the Saudis.
Ooh.
And they're together. They're shaking hands together. They're friendly. The Saudis had Live Golf, right? They tried to take over the golf.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I worked that event one day. That was lit.
All those golfers left. Phil Mickelson and several top-line artists left and worked for the Saudis, right? What the fuck do I give a damn about what Chappelle and other comedians have done? Donald Trump is in business with the Saudis.
True. Okay.
So let's stop having a conversation, because that's what this country does. They distract you. I don't begrudge anybody. Pete Davidson's father died in 9/11. He's over there.
Damn. So basically what he's saying is they over there for the bread. That's all that is.
Because at the end of the day, we are a transactional society.
Well, but Saudi Arabia had nothing to do with 9/11.
That's not true.
Okay, Bin Laden came from a Saudi family, but the Saudi government did not was not responsible for 9/11.
Argument. How many people who were involved in 9/11 were Saudis? 16.
Okay,
I get what he's saying. It makes sense. I get what he's saying.
So don't tell me.
But the government itself. That's like saying how many Americans were involved in some sort of horrific act.
That's plausible deniability. What they did, that's plausible deniability.
I don't think the government was behind it. I don't think so. I just don't think so.
Well,
do y'all think so? Comment down below. I don't know, bro. You never know out here.
What I'm not going to do is, here's what I will say is this: that they attacked countries that didn't have anything to do, but didn't have a representative that was involved in 9/11.
Afghanistan got attacked right after 9/11. Not Saudi Arabia.
We attacked somebody that didn't. We attacked Iraq, and not one person who was involved in 9/11 was from Iraq. Not one.
We did not. We didn't attack Iraq over 9/11. We attacked Iraq over 9/11. We invaded Afghanistan over 9/11.
And where else? Iraq.
Let's look this up.
Iraq.
I don't know, bro. It's been so long ago, bro.
Right.
He confident. He real confident.
Where was Saddam Hussein from?
You're right.
Iraq.
You're right.
Okay.
Of course I'm right.
I didn't know that part. Okay. You're right.
Yeah, of course. We attacked not one.
2000.
I could tell he knew what he was talking about. He was just too confident. He took off the glasses like, nigga, I'm telling you, just shut up, be quiet.
2003, okay, here we go. So in 2003, the U.S. invaded Iraq partly on the premise of combating terrorism and weapons of mass destruction, although it was later found out that Iraq had no connection to the 9/11 attacks. Okay, so that's why I didn't know it, because it had nothing to do with the attack. But Bin Laden was actually in Afghanistan when he was launching the attacks. So that's why we attacked.
Okay, Afghanistan. There's a tenuous argument to be had for why we did that. Iraq, why? Under the auspices of well, they were foam. They had weapons of mass destruction, but they didn't.
They did, yeah.
So we didn't attack Saudi, which we know had 15 people or 16 people that were from Saudi Arabia that did it, but nobody attacked them. Nor did we say anything bad about them. Why?
In fact, I remember that a bunch of bin Laden's like siblings were brought back on private planes.
Of course they were.
Right when it happened.
Of course they were.
To get them out of harm's way,
So
potentially.
so excuse me if I don't take it seriously, that you take seriously comedians going to perform for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, listen, I'm perfectly fine with it. But there was an interesting quote where Dave Chappelle said that he could speak more freely in Saudi Arabia than in America.
Of course he can.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's,
I don't know about that.
let me ask you something.
I think Bill Maher and Louis C.K. were talking about this, and they're like, yeah, do some jokes about Muhammad. See what happens over there.
Okay. There are this notion that you can speak freely in America was
It's a cancel
tenuous
culture.
at best, but now we know it's almost non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's almost
He ain't
non-existent.
lying.
You're not going to tell me you can speak more freely in Saudi Arabia
I'm
than
telling
America.
you this. That
That's insane. No, I'm not co-signing
Okay,
this.
well, here's what
This
I will
is not
say.
true.
Here's what I will say to you.
Not under a kingdom with one single king with no free speech, no elections, nothing.
What I will say is this.
Go say fuck the king of Saudi.
But
Go over there, see what happens.
Here's what I will say.
Who would say something like that? It just his jokes can be more explicit over there than the United States. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, they used to have Richard Pryor. His jokes used to be crazy. Eddie Murphy jokes used to be crazy. And nowadays, them same jokes in this day and age, bro, well, they suing you.
I would never have an occasion or a cause to say fuck the king. I don't have an experience with him.
Right.
But from the experiences I have, from the things that have affected me,
So chopping up the journalist, that's okay with you?
I think it most certainly is not.
Okay.
But it's okay with Jeff Bezos.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay with Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I don't
It's
get it.
okay with Liv Go.
Jeff Bezos did what again?
He owns the Washington Post.
Right, I get that.
Who
Well,
the report-
doesn't Amazon own the Washington Post?
and he owns Amazon.
Well, he's no longer an employee at Amazon. I believe he's a big shareholder
Let's be
of
clear.
Amazon. Amazon's a public company.
Let's be clear.
Jeff Bezos doesn't own Amazon.
Let's be clear.
He owns a chunk, big chunk, but just a
what-
chunk.
He still got ties to it at the end of the day, Vlad. You trying to make the man wrong, he still got ties to it. That's all he's saying. All them people who he just named, bro, got ties to them people doing something to their family member or something like that, bro. And they still over there for that pay. You hear me?
Does he own the Washington Post?
Amazon owns the Washington
Okay,
Post.
he
He
owns
personally does
Amazon.
not own that. He owns shares of Amazon, which in turn
think-
owns the Washington Post, as well as a bunch of other companies. Whole Foods and so forth.
I just think that it's a disingenuous argument.
Listen, I'm usually in agreements with you, but in this case,
This
I
man
think we're blurring
shook
the lines
hands.
of reality
We're not
here.
blurring the lines of reality at all.
I think we are.
Saudis murdered a reporter that worked for a company that this man is in business with, right? That's fair.
Yeah.
Right. If you in business with it, that's all he's saying.
And he didn't have a problem at all being friendly with him.
Mm.
The President of the United States of America doesn't have a problem with the people who murdered a reporter, right?
Correct.
Or having his son-in-law do business with them.
Right.
Why the fuck am I talking about Dave Chappelle?
Mm-hmm.
It's a disingenuous argument.
Listen, all I'm saying is he cannot speak more freely in Saudi Arabia than America. That is just a false
Vlad, you a motherfucker, man.
That's
statement.
bullshit. The things I would speak
You
about,
really believe that?
I absolutely believe. Because why would I need to talk about the king of Saudi Arabia? I haven't had experiences with him.
Okay, all types of
So
topics.
why would I need to? Why would I
all
need?
types of topics.
Why would I need to?
Talk about make a joke about Muhammad.
But why
Make
would
a
I need
joke
to?
about
I don't
Muhammad.
live. Why would I need to?
I'm not saying anyone would need to. I'm not advocating anyone to do it. I'm just
Vlad, you trying to make this more personal, bro. What he's saying is some of the jokes that Dave Chappelle do could be a little bit more explicit. That's all, bro. That's all.
saying that there's
When you're talking
all
about
the things you could say fuck Trump. You could say
exactly, because that's what I would say.
You could talk about Jesus. You could talk about Buddha, Muhammad. You could talk about the Jews, whatever else, and you will not get thrown in jail. In Saudi Arabia, you will get thrown in jail.
Why would I need to talk about something I
It's not a what if I need to. I'm saying if it happens, this is the ramifications of it.
Everything. My source isn't edified by any of those experiences. I can only talk about what I have experienced.
Right.
I don't know what it's like to live under a Saudi kingdom.
Right.
I do know what it's like to live here.
Preach, brother.
So why would I even need to address what's going on in Saudi Arabia? Because it's a foreign concept. You talk about apples and bowling balls.
But he said, I'm just saying that statement that he said is not true.
It is absolutely true from his experiences.
Okay.
It is.
You just talking about his experience, Vlad. You trying to make it personal, man. That's the reason I did this fucking reaction, bro. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to spin the narrative, bro. If you made it this far, bro, he's trying to spin the narrative, bro.
Absolutely true.
Okay, from his experiences.
Exactly.
Because he's never had to actually push the envelope in Saudi Arabia
why would he need
the way that he has pushed it in America.
But why would he need to? Because he lives in America.
But he's visiting Saudi Arabia.
But he's not.
Just because he visits don't mean that he gotta have the jokes about the people that he visiting. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get Vlad, bro. I don't get it.
Not speak freely in Saudi Arabia. You cannot speak freely in China. You cannot speak freely in Dubai.
You can't believe that. You
can speak freely in Dubai?
Why would I need to speak freely about a thing I've never experienced?
Okay.
What is he experiencing?
I feel like you're cherry picking here.
No. I feel like what you're doing is making a play. Here's the thing. I can only talk about all of us are the sum total of our life experiences.
Okay.
All I am is what I am, what I believe would happen, and what happened, right?
Okay.
So if I went to Saudi Arabia, I don't know shit about them. I know shit about here.
Yes.
I don't know anything. There would be not an occasion for me to even talk about the sheikh or the Saudi Arabian apparatus. I don't know what they are. I know what here is.